we're headed over to Oak Street to use our iPad and Canvas to do some scanning and create some existing conditions drawings for this project. I haven't been hired to do the full-on design, but this is a kind of a good foot in the door on, starting the process, do the existing conditions drawings, get the project set up, and then hopefully they'll hire me for the rest of it, but I guess we'll see what they're trying to do. With the Canvas app, we can just scan a house. What used to take me like a full morning with 2 guys, now it only takes me like an hour by myself. No clipboards, no paper, no tape measures. I just head out to the site and I wave my iPad around. Essentially, it builds a 3D model. I think it's this one up here in the corner. 4750, this is it right here. Interesting.
Let's take a look inside. Upon entering the house, you arrive in the living room, which is kind of isolated. Although there's a cozy fireplace and seating arrangement conducive to cocktails and conversation. Next is the dining room, which serves as a hallway to the kitchen and the rest of the house. Watch out, guys. Here's one of the 2 secondary bedrooms upstairs, which is currently set up as an office. Now, off to the master bedroom that doesn't really set itself apart from the others. Here's the 3rd bedroom that is currently being converted into a nursery. And finally, there's one bathroom that serves the entire main floor. It's a nice house, but plenty of room for improvement. The kitchen is where the majority of phase 1 efforts will be focused. My clients love to entertain, so they're considering knocking out the kitchen wall to make a more open floor plan. Removing this wall will expose direct sight lines and give guests unobstructed access into the kitchen and the party upon entering. All sounds good to me, but first we gotta scan. Let's get to work. Open up the Canvas app, click the plus sign to start a new project. Give this home a name, then click Create New Home. Click the plus sign to start scanning. That's it. Here's a few tips for scanning. It's ideal to start in a corner of the room with a lot of details, like bookshelves, picture frames, or patterns. Stand 3 to 10 feet away from the wall. Keep in mind that you do not need to scan the entire ceiling or the entire floor. Scan the wall as if you were spraying paint from floor to ceiling. Continue with this pattern, moving in one single direction until you are back at your starting point. You can usually fit several rooms on one scan. Tap Done to complete the scan and explore the resulting model. You get an instant plan view, and there's even a measuring tool, so you can pull any dimension anytime. That's super handy. All that's left is to scan the basement. All said and done, this house took me less than an hour. Before I hit the road, I'm going to upload. Just tap Order, select the scans, then tap Continue. I always merge the scans to get one complete model. While there are several formats available, I'm only interested in a SketchUp SKP file. Interior only is fine for this project. I can build the roof and exterior details myself to save a few bucks. Tap Place Order and let Canvas take care of the rest.
So I got the email from Canvas that let me know my files are ready. What we got to do now is download the zip file, extract it, set up our images folder, and then take a look at using the Flex drawing set, which is flexible by nature. Basically what it does is it snapshots the current tag visibility when you run the plan generator. We're going to adjust a few of the Canvas tags and then run a quick plan, send it to layout literally within like a couple minutes. So this is going to be the fastest, easiest way to get your Canvas model into layout as workable existing conditions drawings. All right, so here you can see that I've got my Canvas email, my order is ready, and the ultimate cost of it was $568.44. So maybe just a little more than I wanted to spend on this project. You know, I was expecting $500, and truth be told, it saved me a ton of time, and now I'm ready for the full design project. Let's keep an eye on our hours here, how long it takes me to kind of wrap this up and create these existing conditions drawings. Let's download the files. I'll save it to my projects, and this is 4750 Oak Street. And we're gonna make a new folder, and whenever I receive files from anyone, Canvas, clients, other architects, I put it into an images folder. I would start a new folder, and I'm gonna call this 231207. That way I can kind of keep a running list or tally of what I'm receiving from different consultants. Okay, so now I'll hop over into that Oak Street images folder, and then I can right click on that zip file and we can extract all like that. You know, all these folders contain the different scans and the meshes. I really don't need that. What I need is this global 4750 Oak Street that's in the merged folder, because that's going to be the project, or that's going to be the SketchUp model where all my scans are pulled together and cleaned up. Inside of SketchUp, this is the merged model as received from Canvas. Let's take a look at our tags. We'll get the tags dialog open. The first thing I do whenever I start a new project is I'm gonna open up my Condoc System heads-up display. You can see that I have the Flex drawing set loaded. I'll just click reset, and that kind of buttons up this design scene tab. Gets me to kind of a lightweight, snappy working environment. Check this out, just let's take a look at the model. I mean, there's our X-ray mode, and look at all that detail. Got like light switches and all the doors, windows, molding. I can turn off my different tags now. Like, you know, maybe I don't need my ceiling on. So ceiling basement and ceiling level 1. There's a better view of what's going on in there. I gotta tell you, it's really difficult to take field measurements and get all of this information in there. It is so helpful to have this Canvas 3D scan with the lights, the switches, fixtures, the trim. I mean, everything is so clean and accurate and detailed. I'm a huge fan of this service. I guess you're probably picking up on that already. Now we need to go through, and you know, when I'm creating a plan, I really don't want to see like the trim and, you know, the switches and this and that. So let's go through here. Floor and the walls and the doors, those are good. We'll leave the glass turned on. All the windows are going to be turned on. The appliances, you know, we can leave those turned on. Cabinetry and counters. I think it's features is what we're really looking at. Features can be turned off. And actually, you know what? Features, let me just make sure that our bathroom setup. Yeah, see, the bathroom setup has features on. So just to kind of set up the context of this tutorial, I'm making it a point to like not mess with the Canvas model. I want to show you how Condoc Flex can create the drawings that you need with literally no work on the SketchUp model. You open this Canvas merged model, run the plan generator, and you're good to go. Let's just get our tags adjusted. All right, so I'm gonna leave my features turned on, yeah, because I've got our bathroom fixtures on there. We wanna do like architectural details. So that's gonna get rid of our baseboard trim, but we also have window frames. Let's turn off architectural details in the basement. Our window frames, I kind of looked over that one. So window frame level 1. You know, see how like these guys, we don't want those window frames turned on. And then electrical level 1, we're gonna get rid of those too. And then what is this last piece here? What is this guy? If I look at my entity info, you can see we have door frames as well. So you got door frame basement, door frame level 1. That makes a pretty clean plan drawing, you know, because if I slice this and look at it in plan view, and then I've got my baseboard trim turned on, it's gonna make it hard for me to get a clean snap to the wall. What we do now is activate the plan generator. And when you do that for the first time on any project, you're going to get this project setup dialog. Let me explain a little bit about this. We do have a basement, and we need to set our finished floor heights. So the finished floor heights are always measuring from the origin. And you can find your origin by right-clicking on any axis and choosing reset. You can see that the reset button is kind of grayed out. That means that it's already at the origin. So we're good to go. Next, I can use my tape measure tool. I can measure from the origin, tap the up arrow key, and snap here. And you can see this is like 8'6". So our basement is at 0 and level 1 is at 8'6". This is going to be the finished floor heights, where when we cut plans, by default we pop up another 4 feet above that. I'll click save, and now we get our plan generator, and that project setup information is saved with the file. So that's pretty slick, because then you know, as you move forward when you're making plans, you don't always have to do those measurements. Here's our CAD floor plan. We do have some other generic plans, but really for this project, all I want is a CAD style black and white floor plan. So just a little more information about Condoc Flex. You can use any tags you want. So whatever the tag visibility is, it's what's going to be captured or snapshotted when we run the plan generator. If we don't know the tags that are being used, then we really can't make all these different drawings like a foundation plan, electrical plan, renovation plan. That's where the Condoc Architect drawing set comes in. It's a more advanced drawing set, and when you start to apply those tags by level, element, location, and condition, then we can make those specific plans, like furniture plans, electrical plans, where we can isolate those different objects and highlight them in certain plans. That's the difference between like the full Condoc Architect drawing set and the Condoc Flex drawing set. Flex is just usually used early on in the project in a situation like this where I'm just trying to get some existing conditions drawings or just get some plans out the door quick. All right, enough about that. Let's push the buttons, see what happens. All right, so with our CAD floor plan selected, I'll click on Create Plans. And you can see that these two scenes are created, CAD Floor Plan 00 and CAD Floor Plan 01. Pretty slick. So now we need to send these over to Layout. I'm gonna use my Condoc Drawing Export. We can select all of our drawings. They're gonna go out at 1/4 inch, and we just click Send to Layout. So this requires a model to be saved. I'll just say yes. And what this is doing now is bundling up these scenes, putting them into a scrapbook. So let's hop over into Layout. I'm gonna start a new document and go to My Templates. When you install the Condoc tools, we put all these different metric and standard title blocks in your default template folder. It's easy to choose 24 by 36, or in this case, I like to work with a 13 by 19 sheet size. Over here at the right, I've got my default tray. Now, I like to stretch out to make it a little bit bigger. And then when I go take a look at my scrapbooks, we're gonna go track down our Condoc Drawings scrapbook. All right, so now all I need to do is click and drag, and here's CAD Floor Plan 00, and I can just stretch it out to see that whole thing.
The SketchUp 3D Summit is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to elevate your design skills, connect with the best, and have a blast doing it. We're talking live, mind-blowing presentations from 6 of the top SketchUp experts, authors, and extension developers. First-class workshops by day, unforgettable networking events by night. Gear up for your journey to the peak of your professional SketchUp workflow. Join me at the SketchUp 3D Summit in Denver this summer. Click the link in the description to learn more and grab your seat today. I'll see you there.
I can add a sheet. We'll go to the adds, this adds a sheet to our presentation. And then I go one page through our Condoc Drawing scrapbook. And here's CAD Floor Plan 01. And then same deal, I'm gonna hold Alt because that allows me to kind of stretch this viewport about the center. We're not doing anything with the garage, so we're gonna leave that out of these plans. And then I'll just kind of like tighten this thing up. Also, I need to right click and turn off my grid stack. That drives me nuts. And so I can right click and choose center vertically on page, right click, center horizontally. Maybe I'll even do like a shift nudge up, just a few. So if you hold shift and tap the arrow key, you get a 1/4 inch nudge. We've got our two drawings on here, and let's just kind of stretch this one around as well, just to kind of tighten up those boundaries. All right, so what I like to do with my drawings is get them perfectly aligned from page to page, so that as I'm scooting back and forth, I can easily copy and paste different pieces from one plan to the next. That's gonna come into play a little bit later. Let's get these drawings organized or arranged on the page so that there's like some sort of a reference point so that they kind of perfectly stack. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so maybe I would pick a point like maybe this top right corner, and I'll just draw a line, make sure that my stroke is turned on. I just need a line that like snaps to that corner. And you can see that now when I go over here, I want to just move this line to the layer Guides, because Guides is a shared layer. So now when I go over here, I can select this drawing and then I can snap it in place with my precise move grip and then snap it to that edge. And then truth be told, I would just like delete the guide. Now you can see here, maybe I want to like nudge this like shift 1, 2, and then I can select this and go 1, 2. That's how I get my drawings aligned. Now before we get started, we do have an issue that I'm seeing. There's no windows. So here's the basement and there's no windows. Here's the upstairs. There's some windows here, but there's no windows in these bedrooms or bathroom. So by default, when you run the plan generator, it adds those section cuts at 4 feet above your finished floor heights. Well, on this project or in this house, those windows are actually above that 4-foot cut. So what we need to do is kind of hop back into SketchUp, adjust our active section planes for those plan drawings. So I want to show you a tip here about working with SketchUp and Layout. It's always better to open your SketchUp model from Layout. This creates like a live sync so that as you're updating your SketchUp SketchUp model automatically updating in layout rather than having to save it, go to document setup, references, reload. That old method, it just takes a lot of time. There's a lot of lag involved. Like every time I go into that document setup references, it seems like I'd get that spinning wheel. So let me show you a tip or a trick here about how to set up like a live sync between SketchUp and layout. I'm going to hop into SketchUp and I'm going to close that SketchUp model. In layout, I'm going to go to File and choose Document Setup. Head over to the References tab and select my SketchUp model. I can just click Edit. What that's going to do is open the SketchUp model from layout. So now what I can do is go to like say CAD Floor Plan 00 and orbit into 3 dimensions and click on View Section Planes. I'm going to select the active section plane and I'm going to move it straight up on the blue, and see how now I'm catching those windows. Moving it up like 30 inches is going to be just about right. I can just double click on this top section plane and now I'm going to move that one, and I suppose I'd probably just do it like the same, like 30 inches. Just taking a look around the model, making sure that we're seeing all of those windows. Again, with our Condoc system heads-up display and the Flex drawing set loaded, you can just click reset to kind of get back to good. Here's where the magic happens. I'm going to click on the file dropdown and choose save. When I hop back into layout, boom, everything updates automatically. So how slick is that? To be able to just work in SketchUp, hit save, and then have those changes show up in layout without having to go through the document setup and the references. I'm telling you, that little tip right there, that's a huge time saver. Also, I gotta be honest, I feel like I've seen performance increases, mainly because every time I go into that references dialog and select a reference, it just has to kind of choke and think through it. So you kind of get rid of that whole thing. Just save it, and as soon as layout becomes active, it updates and renders. So we're in a pretty good spot. I think that we could just export these out and take a look at the PDF and see what we actually get with no work, like very little effort in SketchUp, just taking that Canvas 3D model, slicing it into plans, and then create those existing conditions drawings. Let me show you how to export. We'll take a look at the PDF and then move forward from there. All right, so just to add one more bit of detail to this, I'm going to hop over to my Condoc Annotations scrapbook and move over to this second page and then choose these different drawing titles. So this one's probably going to be good for our existing conditions plan. So we'll put one there and then I'll activate my select tool, double click in, and this is going to be floor plan space dash space, I'll say level 01. Like that, and then I can select that plan, and let me just make sure I kind of got like an extra enter in there. I'm going to select this and copy it, and then hop back over here to our basement, paste it, and whenever you paste in layout, it's always a paste in place, and we'll call that level 0. We've got our drawings in here. They're not perfect, right? Like we don't have door swings, we're slicing some of the different equipment, but in general, this gives you the existing conditions plan. Let's go to File, Export PDF, and I'm going to send this to my project folder, projects 4750, and we're going to make an exports folder. So anything that comes in goes in images, anything that goes out goes to exports. Same drill, we're going to do 231207. Maybe I would call this BD underscore 4750 Oak Street space dash space existing conditions. I'm going to export all my pages. Using the JPEG compression is fine, always on the better quality. I always uncheck create PDF layers from layout layers because I had a problem with a print shop one time and I really just don't need PDF layers from layout layers. We're going to show in our PDF viewer, so click export and here's the final results. Like I said, the windows are a little heavy. Some of the different symbols are maybe not perfect on graphic standards. Here's our upstairs with our kitchen, but to be honest, these are workable.
So you can see how quickly you can go from a Canvas scan to CAD model to very usable existing conditions drawings in just a few minutes with the Condoc Flex drawing set. But here's the rub. I like to design in 2D. I want super clean drawings that will evolve into my proposed plans. I like to trace these drawings in layout with scaled objects and symbols included with the Condoc 2D scrapbook. Wondering how I do that? Follow me to this video and I'll show you. Or check out our latest upload here. It's a banger for sure. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and drop a comment before you go. I'll see you next time.